Charlie Andile. Vuntu Bane. Zanga Lulamile.
Madam Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Bachelor of Commerce Honors in Business Management on the candidates' whose names appear on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Thank you. Gogongyeke Fezile. Jamjam Sinakaya. Lubozo Zinsle. Mazingisa Yandisa. Mthatha Atanati. Inkwadini Kayaletu. Intobela Tandazile. Vukatwele Lucas. Madam Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Bachelor of Commerce Honors in Economics on the candidates whose names appear on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Indibi Nosishle. Impiti Findile. Mtanda Pakama. Nokamandana Alungile. Madam Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Master of Commerce in Economics on the candidates whose names appear on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Dingizwayo Unati. Yes, I know. Madam Chancellor, I have to read the dissertation. Natural Resource Rents and Conflicts in resource-rich countries, the role institutional quality. Supervisor Dr. K. Sibanda, co-supervisor Professor F. Kapingura. Thank you.
I hereby confer the degree.
In Chun Swe Tola, thank you. Dissertation, testing environmental Kuznets curve hypothesis in South Africa. Supervisor Dr. K. Sibanda, co-supervisor Dr. R. Garidkar. Koko Alungile, dissertation, health expenditure and economic performance in selected Southern African development community countries. Supervisor Dr. K. Sibanda, co-supervisor Mr. P. Senzanga Kona. Totobayo, Baseza, wonderful. Dissertation, reskilling employees for the fourth industrial revolution, a case of selected small businesses in Mthatha, Eastern Cape. Supervisor, Professor S. Rajkaran, co-supervisor, Ms. C. Intuli. Madam Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Master of Public Administration on the candidates whose names appear on the program.
At the degree.
Jiba Andisa, dissertation, the impact of job satisfaction on employees' turnover intention at King Sabata Dalinyebo Local Municipality. Supervisor, Professor N. Machizela. Lunguza Nokwanda, dissertation, assessment of policy implementation challenges, a case of the White Paper 6 on inclusive education in the Eastern Cape Faculty of Health Sciences. Supervisor, Dr. B. Makiwane. Indamase Maxobandile, let me read it again. Indamase Maxobandile cum laude. Dissertation, the effect of fourth industrial revolution preparedness on job turnover at King Sabata Dalinyebo Local Municipality. Supervisor, Dr. Y. Lukman. Kotongo Koliswa. Dissertation, Critical Challenges in Maintaining Road Infrastructure in the Eastern Cape, a case study of Mzumvubu Local Municipality. Supervisor, Professor S. Balkaran.
Madam Chancellor, Madam Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Master of Science in Health Promotion on candidates whose name appear on the program.
Confer the degree.
Nane Zipelele. The dissertation, Knowledge, Attitudes, Perceptions, and Barriers of Cervical Cancer among health workers responsible for cancer services in the Eastern Cape. Supervisor, Mr. S.C. Nomachila. Tony Mzwanele. Dissertation, assessing the role of health promotion practitioners in prevention and response to outbreaks in the Oliva Regional Tambo District. Supervisor, Mr. S.C. Nomachila. Madam Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Master of Public Health on the candidates whose names appear on the program.
You cannot, I think they're
Loko Muendo Loko Emma. The dissertation, Prevalence and Factors Associated with Occurrence of Pressure Ulcers in Adult Patients Admitted at Nelson Mandela Academic Hospital, Eastern Cape, South Africa. Supervisor, Dr. S.A. Mabunda. Co-supervisors, Dr. W.W. Klita and Mr. S.C. Nomachila. Ngwatyu Viwe Veronica. Dissertation, Factors Associated with Viral Load Suppression Rate on HIV-infected patients on antiretroviral therapy in Amatole District, Eastern Cape. Supervisor, Mr. S.C. Nomachila. Mkencele Nontando Precious. Dissertation, the perception of HIV-positive mothers towards 6 months exclusive breastfeeding at Duncan Village Day Hospital, East London, Eastern Cape. Supervisor, Dr. O. Oladimeji. Mlondleni Sisanda Nomajali. Dissertation, Exploring Facilitators and Barriers to Medication Access using the Centralized Chronic Medicine Dispensing and Distribution CCMD program in 2 selected health facilities in King Sabata Dalindyebo area of the Eastern Cape, a qualitative study. Supervisor, Dr. O. Oladimeji. Mlonyeni Sionela. Dissertation, perceptions of fifth-year medical students at Walter Sisulu University towards community needs post-longitudinal integrated community clerkship. Supervisor, Mr. S.C. Nomachila. Mthatha Kalipile Wiseman. Dissertation, exploring infection prevention practices among household conducts of TB defaulters managed at Olive and Adelaide Tambo Hospital, Bizana, Eastern Cape. Supervisor, Dr. O. Oladimeji. Mwiweni Putunywa Zandrina. Dissertation, factors influencing the utilization of antenatal care services among women of reproductive age group in South Africa. Supervisor, Dr. O. Oladimeji. Poswa Nyameka Confidence. Dissertation, assessing the effects of childhood sexual abuse on the quality of life of the survivors of Mthatha Sub-District OR Tambo, Eastern Cape Province. Supervisor, Mr. S.C. Nomachila. Madam Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Master of Medicine, specializing in anesthesiology, on the candidates whose names appear on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Yes, boss. Well done. Sukwana Abongile. Dissertation, prevalence and causes of cancellations of elective surgical procedures in a tertiary hospital in rural Eastern Cape, a retrospective study. Supervisor, Prof. B. Mthatha, co-supervisor, Dr. O. Oladimeji. Madam Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Master of Medicine in Family Medicine on the candidates whose names appear on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Etang Enwongo. Dissertation, nurses' knowledge of and willingness to promote female condom use in selected primary healthcare clinics in King Sabata Dalindyebo Municipality, Eastern Cape, South Africa. Supervisor, Dr. O.V. Adeni, co-supervisor, Prof. P. Yogeswaran. Ame Michael Ojinimi. Dissertation, the views of healthcare workers on managing patients with diabetes mellitus type 2 at selected primary healthcare facilities in Mthatha, Eastern Cape Province, South Africa. Supervisors Prof. B. Kawe, Co-Supervisor Dr. R.P. Kaswa. Madam Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Master of Medicine, specializing in internal medicine, on the candidates whose names appear on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Sikuza Sazikazi Lumka. Dissertation, Chronic Inflammatory Diseases of the Lips, a clinical pathological correlation in Nelson Mandela Academic Hospital. Supervisor Dr. A. Mankatla, Co-Supervisor Prof. N.P. Kumalo. Madam Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Master of Medicine in Obstetrics and Gynecology on the candidates whose names appear on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Maibenye Mawande. Dissertation, Pre-operative prediction of severe intraperitoneal adhesions in women undergoing repeat cesarean section using clinical signs and the sliding sign at the Nelson Mandela Academic Hospital, Mthatha. Supervisor, Professor G.A.B. Buga.
Wow, congrats, man.
Kuta Nonzame patients. Dissertation, the incidence and outcomes of ectopic pregnancies at the Rural Tertiary Teaching Hospital in the Eastern Cape Province, South Africa. Supervisor, Professor J.B. Buga. Madam Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Health Sciences on the candidate whose name appears on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Nomachila Sibusiso Cyprian. Title, Primordial Risk Factors and Primary Prevention Framework for Overweight and Obesity among Children of the Prospective Urban-Rural Epidemiological Study Participants in the Eastern Cape Province of South Africa. Supervisor is Professor T. Apatlata, and the co-supervisor is Professor T. Puone. The citation goes as follows. Childhood overweight and obesity are reported to exist among children and adolescents, continue through adulthood, and are associated with the early development of non-communicable diseases, with 1.9 billion adults reported as overweight and more than 650 million as obese. This trajectory results in diseases like heart illnesses, type 2 diabetes, some malignancies, and long-term infections of the respiratory system. The rise is exacerbated by exposure to modifiable lifestyle behaviors such as tobacco use, a lack of physical activity, and nutritionally deficient diets. The overall aim of this study was to determine the prevalence of overweight and obesity and associated primordial risk factors, as well as to design a primary prevention framework for the risk factors among children of the prospective urban-rural epidemiological study in the Eastern Cape Province, South Africa. In the findings, 3 anthropometric measures reported the prevalence of overweight or obesity among females as 2.7% on waist circumference, tricep skin fold as 6.9%, and body mass index cutoffs as 16.4%. This indicated that use of single method to diagnose obesity was inconclusive and could lead to inaccurate diagnosis, thus incorrect intervention plan. Skipping of breakfast, pocket money, and physical inactivity were major risk factors among school-going children. Gaps in policy implementation, especially the National School Nutrition Program and integrated school health policy, were identified as major issues in the development and diagnosis of NCDs. Empirical evidence indicates that South Africa was undergoing a nutrition transition in which overnutrition was gradually supplanting undernutrition. However, undernutrition was coexisting with overnutrition, in that there was no adequate knowledge of NCDs amongst the school management team participants. There is a need to improve visibility of health promotion personnel to ensure community empowerment on NCD prevention. Policy reform and curriculum review, especially in the life orientation learning area, were found to be necessary and urgent to ensure that children are adequately educated on NCD risk factors and measures to prevent them. This study culminated to a framework of primary prevention of primordial risk factors for overweight and obesity among children and adolescents using socio-ecological model.
Wababiza bonke Noah, wabakelinga nawe, wathi imvula iyeza, ongena Noah. Wababiza bonke Noah, wabakelinga nawe, wathi imvula iyeza, ongena Noah. Tango. Ngena Noah, izizukulwane zakho. Ngena Noah, izizukulwane zakho. Bami mfana, mandla wethu, mandla wethu, Izwe lethu. IAfrika. Izwe lethu. IAfrika. Thanks very much. Madam Chancellor of the University, the Vice Chancellor, Council members, Executive Managers, the ISRC, the Campus SRC, abazali bethu kwela cala, and also Osingai kwela cala. Revolutionary greetings in the name of economic freedom in our lifetime. Speaking here is Mascol Mapongo, the institutional president of Walter Sisulu University. The inzalelwane yangapha eNgcobo, phansi kwenkosi uDalixolo. Umgcini uTyopho uNokwindla. Nimkhathalele Dalixolo. Dalixolo. Thanks very much. Mine is very short and brief. Just here to read the speech of congratulating you, comrades. Today is your day. You have left an indelible mark. The qualifications that you have obtained, they will forever belong to you. I was what I You have worked hard, comrades. We know the struggle of students, comrades, where sometimes we need to take actions if things azenzeki ngohlobo esenzeka ngalo. But now today you are here celebrating your day. The life and the joy of every parent is when their child benefit from the fruit of their labor. The struggle of having to strive for academic excellence that we have been part of for more than 12 years, from the basic level education till the tertiary, has given birth to a community of educated black people. It has not been an easy road, and we are victorious. We slept without food. We stayed for nights because of the imagination of a better future. Today we see tears of joy from those mothers that will send the last cent so that some of you could sit here today as you are doing. We see the smiles of fathers who helped to ensure our mothers of our safety when he did not know how brutal these streets are. This day should be marked as a day that a new community of literate masses of our people was ordained. It is with great pleasure to greet and welcome the pillars of our strength who were guiding us even when we refused guidance. Education is not only key to success, but a large book or store of knowledge. Open quote. Education to us means service to Africa, close quote. And we are going to serve this continent. Hello, Mr. West. You are revolutionary greeted. We are gathered here in this graduation ceremony by an impactful, technological-infused African university which, on an idealistic basis, produces quality and future-ready graduates. This is evident because we have seen our graduates making significant contribution to regional, national, and continental development. However, we need not to find comfortability in that. We need to strive for more improvement to an extent that this African university that is situated in the Eastern Cape is going to tow down the unemployment rate that is loud within the province and across the country. We need to produce quality and future-ready graduates who will firstly understand that the current colonial system with its curriculum was brought in Azania in the 18th centuries with only one objective, which was to impart European knowledge to Africans, which is still relevant in our days. And it has made us as Africans to hold a belief that whites are the only ones who can create jobs while Africans are only subjected to employment. A long route in addressing this issue of ever increasing unemployment rate is for us as African university to develop our curriculum to that one of Afrocentric and socialist education, which will then produce graduates that will be able to create instead of searching for opportunities for the advancements of their lives and their communities. A shorter and urgent needed routine is to have our executive management and the University Council to understand that most of our graduates who came from previously disadvantaged families and left the corridors of the university with the debt of their certificate. Scrolls are still unemployed, and there was no way they could have competed with other graduates from multiracial university while they were not having their certificate at hand. We therefore need to give our graduates their certificate regardless of having historical debt. Well, I say you are here rejoicing now that this is the day. The question comes, are you going to get your certificate so that you can go and search for a job? Because in reality, we are now going to live a reality. There is a real life after university life. There will be no rest, there will be no allowances, but it's going to be you and the community. You have to search for a job. But if you do not have certificate at hand, you are already disadvantaged. You are going to apply for a job with someone who studied at CPUT, Rhodes University, and other university, having their certificate at hand, though that simply means you are going to be eliminated even before you go for an interview. So I am here pleading with the Vice-Chancellor, the council members, and also the SRC, ISRC, and the campus SRC to find a way in a manner where they can come up with a plan to say, no, each and everyone who graduated for the class of 2023, even those who are still owning the university, they must be guaranteed to get their certificate so that they can be able to apply for a job. As Prof said, you know, sometimes you need not to only look for a job because you are now graduate, you need to think outside the box. Sometimes you can just create your own employment so that you can employ other people. So we need to shift that mind of thinking once you graduated, the only thing that you have is to go and search for jobs. No, you need sometimes to adjust your level of thinking to say that if ever I can go and move in this direction, I can employ maybe 10 people instead of you looking for employment. So that's what we need from someone who's graduated. You are no longer thinking like an undergrad. There are people who have PhDs, masters here, cannot be thinking the same level as someone who has a diploma or a degree. So the more you go up, the more the level of thinking is changing. We understand that the current education system is profit-driven. Hence, we need to diverse mechanism of counterbalancing historical debt while handing over certificate. To our graduate, this doesn't require much. It just needs a leadership within a political will that is in line with an African humanism. Let us appreciate the current convocation led by President Dr. Lunga Mandashe, who have shown us that victory is guaranteed over the battle of historical death. In closing, as the current student leadership, we have been preaching a community-based student activism, which is informed by the fact that university is just a transition stage between a life and a student, that one of working class, so that those who will be living student life to take a responsibility of ensuring that you are going to register to vote in the upcoming national general elections, so that we can have a government that will carry the interest of marginalized masses of our people. I just want to put an emphasis on this one. If ever you are here, you have just graduated today, but you are not registered to vote, I think you must speak to yourself to say, am I in a right direction while I graduated but I've never registered to vote? That simply means you have no say. So as young people, we need to take this issue of being registered to vote very serious. Comrades, it can't be the case that we are still young but we have no say for our future. That simply means if ever you see there is a problem in South Africa, you must have a voice as young people, so that we can have a say and go and cast our vote to say that enough is enough. We need this kind of a leadership that is going to provide a direction. Andifuni ukuba ngathi kutheni abantu badala abangapha abazali, they are registered to vote. But when the president of the country declares that day of voting as a holiday, so that each and everyone can get an opportunity to go and toe a line and make his choice in terms of who must lead about the country. You comrades, you just decide to say, no, it's a holiday, let me just leave the whole day. It's wrong as a young people. So if ever you're not registered, you must make sure that you register. At least you are educated, you can register online, so that in the upcoming national general election, you have a say as young people. Please, comrades. Mandla. Over and above, as the ISRC president, I congratulate all our brothers and sisters. Today, this one is for our fathers and mothers. You worked hard, comrades. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Before you, it's Azola Sox Mzwendaba. I'm speaking on behalf of Convocation. Council members, Madam Chancellor, Vice Chancellor Division, ladies and gentlemen. Convocation would like to congratulate the graduates for making it thus far. You graduates, you are here because you deserve to be here and because you have worked hard for it. You defied all the challenges to get where you are today. We therefore celebrate your success. Let me also take this time to also welcome you as our new West members of Convocation. As a member of WUSU Convocation, you are the ambassador of WUSU. This means when people look at you, they see Walter Sisulu University in form and action. Graduates, you are joining us at a time where we are on a big, life-changing campaign for a clearance of graduate debt in the university. In December 2002, the debt of Walter Sisulu University graduates sat at 1.4 billion rand. We want this problem to go away as Convocation. As a result, we have made means to be active in making sure this goes away. On 10th March 2023, of which this year, we have launched the Graduate Debt Clearance Fund in order to clear the debts of our graduates. So that graduates, like some of you who owe the university, will then have at least a way to get out of such problem. We also opened a crowdfund account wherein you could make periodic small contributions to the fund. So far, we've raised over 40 million in cash and non-cash values as Convocation. We raised this money from government, from the business, from university management, the council, the generous individuals, the workers, and the students at large of our alma mater. Since we also want to keep in touch with you, graduates, for the purposes of this nature, we also request you to fill the forms that are given to you of convocation. Importantly, as we expand the reach of WUSU convocation through the launch of chapters throughout the country, we want to see you in these launches and help us to fundraise so that we get to go away with this debt fund. The money we have raised thus far demonstrates that it is possible to overcome the graduate debt problem if each and every one of us contributes the little we have. We are using this platform to start useful and progressive conversation about how the campus SRCs in particular can help us in this effort, and how students can help us to put from as little as 10 rand to make sure we get away of this debt. For instance, if each worker contributed as little as 100 rand per month, and each campus contributed roughly 100 rand, over 5 million by WUSU internal stakeholders alone could be raised to free many graduates from this debt trap. It means we all have to act to get this done. This is our university. Therefore, we must be the first ones to commit to solving the problems that we are faced in. We believe that the WUSU situation is our situation. We are the face of this magnanimous institution, and we must be proud of it and not bury our heads in the sand. We are urging you to become active members of WUSU convocation and keep up to date with what is happening in the university, and in order to contribute meaningfully in the life-changing project that we have put together. We wish you all the best in your future endeavors. Speaking of which, we wish to let you know that we are currently creating as many partnerships as possible to ensure that we link you up with potential opportunities and networks. And that is another good reason you should be active in this convocation. In conclusion, we celebrate your victory. We welcome you to WUSU convocation. We hope you will help us in our fundraising efforts in any way you can. And we hope to continue to reconnect with you in the near future. Thank you so much. Sure.
Madam Chancellor, please allow me to say all protocol observed. On behalf of Walter Sisulu Council, on behalf of our Chancellor, on behalf of our Vice Chancellor, I am here to propose a vote of thanks. Kuthiwa mandenze nje ilizwi lombulelo. Allow me to start by expressing our appreciation to our Chancellor that has been presiding over these proceedings. Chancellor, we want to thank you for leading from the front in this academic space, and I wish indeed to indicate as we acknowledge you in this ceremony that a few weeks ago we were launching a book that was written by you in this space, and the book is, of course, available. This is an academic environment, and we would like to say thank you to our Chancellor for her guidance and for her leadership and for leading from the front. Can we give her a round of applause, please? Allow me to express our gratitude to the leadership, starting from the church, religious leaders here represented by umfundisi uBoy, siyabulela mfundisi. Into yenzileyo bese ngoku sihleli phaya sithi le graduation inemimangaliso yayo, ilizwi ovule kulo namhlanje lilizwe bekuvulwe kulo ngolwesihlanu xa bese Buffalo City senza le graduation. Siyabulela mfundisi nento yayo. We would like to thank the government and political leaders, local government. Were represented here by the office of the mayor, and we also have another person who was a mayor before who has joined us, local government leadership. We really appreciate that you always part of us, as well as the provincial government and at the national level. We really appreciate that. To our council, of course, represented here by Dr. Tebelele, represented by Dr. Mngeni. We really appreciate that you are always here. You are always here to assist us as we take this, and we can actually see that you have deployed yourself in different graduations. We've got 20 sessions, and we have managed to deploy yourself to make sure that you are indeed well represented. To the traditional leaders that have joined us, some of them, they do come and indicate that they are here to express their appreciation. We know that sibelonga kubo singabantwana bazo inkosi zethu nalapho nisuka khona nibaxelele basiyabulela kakhulu ngemisebenzi yabo ne-support that they give into this university. Indeed, we are honored by the president, by the presence of this leadership. Graduation, of course, it's a culmination of work that is done by 3 partners. And the very first partner is on the side of the student, and those are the main stakeholders. And today, I would like to express our appreciation to graduates zethu namhlanje that enizibonayo ningabazali zilidishwa yi-SRC on this side. And we want to indicate that when it comes to leadership on the side of the SRC, we always make sure into yobana noko awuzukhokhela amagama ungawadli, funeka nawo amagama la wathini uwadle, then uzawukwazi ukukhokhela ubonisa abanye abafundi into yobana kwenziwa nje eWalter Sisulu University. May I request, I know there are 23 members of SRC out of 42 that are graduating this year, and I would request those abakhona kule session, both kwi-SRC current nakwi-previous, if nje ungaphakama, ndiqinisekile no president will lead from the front, naye he was graduating kulo nyaka, ndicela niphakame nje, and we give them all a round of applause. Siyabulela zinkokheli. Siyabulela zinkokheli. As you graduate, it has been indicated that you're going to become members of alumni, members of convocation of the university. Kokheli yam, Mr. Mzondaba, we really appreciate the support that the convocation is doing. Remember, these are graduates of this university, therefore they own this university, everything. They come in every structure that is there and the direction that they are giving. We are really appreciating that, and we are encouraging you into Oyobana join and you become part of this convocation. Siyabulela Nkokheli for that on the convocation. Can we give them a round of applause? The second part of this graduation is played by our blessers, abazali, the parents, I would say the major shareholder. Thank you very much. Siyabulela abazali ngoba nisinike nisethembe ngabantwana benu. Nithi nisinika uba masizame ukubalungisa in preparing for the future. Namhlanje babonakala naba phambi kwenu. Sithi siza nabo ngoku yonke into inhle kodwa ke sithi asiphelelanga apho. We still need to link so that si assistane kwaba bangafumananga certificate, kwaba bangafumana imisebenzi. We are there working together with the student and convocation to come up nento enokwenzeka ba makuthweni umuntu angahambi ayozivalela pha ahlale. You must always be in contact. Siyabulela bazali bam. Can we give them abazali a round of applause for even honoring this event? And lastly, the foot soldiers, kule three-way partnership. The full soldiers, the university itself, abantu bavuka in the morning and come and do all of this kind of work that we really see under the leadership of Professor Song. We really appreciate the kind of work that they are doing, both support as well as the academic staff. Zinkokheli sikhokhelwe and sikhokhelwe ngumama kuyabonakala kulugquthe. Ladies and gentlemen, I think let us give her a round of applause for that. We know is zakhe when it comes to issues, Senate, issues, executive management committee. That is why today we are here. That is why today our university is on the spotlight for anything that is beautiful that is taking place. We really appreciate the kind of work that he has done. We appreciate our colleague from labor movement. They always participate, and we know they are leading from different corners of the university, and we can actually see even here participating. That is how we'll take this university forward. Ladies and gentlemen, the local or the organizing committee of this whole graduation, from registrar's team, from marketing and communication, from ED Ops, from student affairs, you can hear the choir there as an example. We really appreciate the work that they have done. Can you give them all a round of applause? And lastly, Professor Tisha, the jury is still out. Very successful first session. We're still going to have 5 sessions to go. That is when I will thank you. But I could see into trying to make sure that it was this smooth and this smooth again. Thank you very much, Rector. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to make just a few announcements. The guests are welcome for a refreshment at the executive dining hall. And I would like to request now the congregation to rise and join in the singing of the national anthem that will be led by the choir. And I will also request the congregation to remain standing until the academic procession has left the Great Hall.
By the virtue of the powers vested in me as the Chancellor, I also award the qualifications in absentia to those students not present. I hereby dissolve this congregation of Walter Sisulu University.
Attention graduates, I've got 9 cell phones with me. Those who have left the cell phones when they were climbing the stage, they can meet up with me right at the back. Thank you.